Incident known as the Boston Massacre took place in 1770, a real forerunner to 1776, because it produced the first casualties in the American Revolution.
I'm Samuel Gray, American. I died at the hands of the British in protest.
My name is Patrick Carr, American, and I died for my country.
My name is James Caldwell, American. I died in 1770 for liberty.
My name is Samuel Maverick, American. I died in 1770 for the love of America.
My name is Crispus Attucks, American. I died in 1770 fighting for freedom. I hope it was worth it.
So do I, Mr. Attucks. So do I. Boston Harbor, the night of December the 16th, 1773. The town is quiet. The colonists going about their business as usual, except they weren't drinking any tea. Oh, they liked tea, all right. They just didn't care for the heavy tax old King George had put on them. So some of the boys decided to do what you're supposed to do with tea. Add a little water. Only this time they added a whole harbor full of water. For the next few months, the fish in Boston's harbor had all the tea they wanted, tax-free. By now, things had gone too far to stop. That's the way it is with freedom. Once you get it in your craw, you want it. You just can't live without it. 1775. With freedom in their hearts, powder in their muskets, and the British in their sights, the men who came here looking for liberty made a down payment on it. Hear that? April 19th, blast-off time on Lexington Common. The Continental soldier was a young man with a dream and the guts to ride that dream. Much as he hated war, he knew that the Declaration was nothing without the independence. So he joined the fight for unconditional freedom, the right to be his own man, in his own home, in his own country. I guess the closest the dream and those kids came to dying together was in the winter of 1777 in Pennsylvania at a place called Valley Forge. And any Continental soldier, from Private John Smith to General George Washington, who survived that little bivouac, knew he'd been to hell and back. But even in our first war, the fighting would stop from time to time for those precious moments of laughter that cushion the pain of war.
Hey, this is Bob coming to you from Valley Forge, Hope. Last night it got down to 10 degrees below zero, making this the world's first Cold War. You know, Valley Forge is so cold, last night I ordered a beer and the head on it was wearing earmuffs. And I had breakfast with Benedict Arnold this morning. He said, "What do you want, Bob?" I said, "Eggs, Benedict." Unfortunately, we ate in the enlisted men's mess. Do you guys ever have eggs on the shingle? You guys should have been with me last night. I stayed at a flea bag hotel in Boston. Never closed my eyes. All night long, some nut was running around yelling, "The British are coming, the British are coming." How he ever got that horse up on the 7th floor, I'll never know. If that wasn't enough to keep me awake, some guy across the street was waving a lantern looking for girls all night. And he was willing to pay them car fare. But not much. Only 1 if by land and 2 if by sea. Yes, sir. Paul Revere, the Midnight Cowboy of 1775. Hey, and let's not forget those brave guys up in Lexington and Concord. The Minutemen, ready to fight in a minute. Well, you're looking at a half a minute man. That's right. When you got an act like mine, you better be ready to fight in half the time. Like my new golf club? Actually, this belongs to Thaddeus Crosby. This morning, he played golf with the British and put a whole regiment in the hospital. Let's remember why we're fighting this war, men. To get back home to our girlfriends. Remember that. You remember what girlfriends are? Those soft, sweet, tender, caressable young things our wives were right up until the wedding. And it's no use trying to smuggle girls into camp. Last night, Corporal Stuyvesant threw a fishnet over a topless waitress and tried to bring her in as live bait. But the general saw through that. Yeah. Yeah, her net didn't quite cover her gross. And I want to tell you, the sergeant knows one of you guys got a girl in camp. He even knows which tent she's in. It's the one with no snow around it every morning. Get a load of old Ben Franklin. He gets a hot key in his hand and he's hailed as a genius. I get a hot key in my hand, the house detective throws me out. I want to tell you, my ancestors came over in the Mayflower. Yes, sir. It was my granddaddy who first stepped ashore on Chrysler Rock.
That's Plymouth Rock.
You take care of your sponsor, I'll take care of mine. And you remember Bunker Hill? That was the first time our troops ever fought in such cold. 10 degrees below zero. One poor corporal pulled guard duty, shot a redcoat 5 times, only to find out I was our lieutenant with a chapped chest. Hey, and I want to ask you, doesn't Washington ever go home anymore? Every place I go, all I see are signs, George Washington slept here. Even last night at that flea bag hotel in Boston, George Washington slept here. How we ever got that horse up on the 7th floor, I don't know. Now, here's a little lady to sing a song for you. She's a real patriot. I ought to know it. 3 o'clock this morning in my room, she declared her independence. And she told me what was good enough for Grandma ain't good enough for her. So let's give the little hand a big lady, huh? Here she is, right here.
Grandma was a lady, sewed and cleaned and cooked, scrubbed her pots, raised her tots, the dear old gal was hooked. She stitched her little stitches, her life was applesauce. The thing that was boss. Yeah, the thing that was riches was boss. She had no voice in government, and bondage was her fate. She only knew what love meant from 8 to 8. And that's a heck of a fate. It was good enough for Grandma, the good old gal with frills, feathers and fuss. It was good enough for Grandma, good enough for Grandma, but it ain't good enough for us. That tyrant known as man fought with a place just stays around the frying pan. He made the world his oyster, now it ain't worth a cut. His oyster, he can't foister on us. No, his oyster, he can't foister on us. His muscle, our tea against his rum. Look behind the bustle for the shape of things to come. Join up with pipe and drum. Good enough for Grandma, that good old gal with her frills, feathers and fuss. It was good enough for Grandma, good enough for Grandma, but it ain't good enough for us. Grandma.
Oh, thanks for the memories. I really shed a tear when I think of Paul Revere. He rode all night to save our plight, but just think of his rear. Oh, thank you. Thank you all so much. Good night, everybody.